There we go. Okay, we're up and running. Okay, first things first, I'm going to do question 12, okay? So, I do question 12. There we go. So when I do question 12, what we have is x squared minus 3x. I'm going to bring over the 10 on the other sides. So we're going to get x squared minus 3x minus 10 is greater than or equal to 0. What we remember is this is a U-shaped graph of some sort. Okay? So this graph is U-shaped. Now the thing about the graph is that we don't know if it's over here. We don't know what side it's on, whether it's up here or down here. Does everybody agree with that? But we know it's U-shaped. So what we're going to find is we're going to solve it equal to 0. So we're going to use a reference number of minus 10. And we're going to get minus 5 and plus 2. We're going to have x minus 5, x plus 2 greater than or equal to 0. Or we're just going to call it equal to 0 for the time being. So that would mean x minus 5 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. It means that x equals minus 2 and x equals 5. So 5 and minus 2. So where do I have to drag this to? About there, yeah? So that is 5. And this part here is minus 2. Okay. What do we want from our graph? This is the y values of the graph. Anytime we put in an x value, when we replace x with any number, it will give us a y value. This is how we draw our graph. Okay? So we can get lots of random points by choosing an x value, and then once we choose an x value, the y value will get picked for us. Okay? And then we can draw the graph. You've done it already. Now, what I'm going to ask you guys is, when is the graph bigger than 0? When is the y value of the graph bigger than 0? Alright. Am I bigger than 0 right now? So I'm bigger than 0 all the way here. Then when do I equal 0? On the line. So that's okay. That's included as well. I'm now smaller than 0, haven't I? So what does this mean? Is this red region here? We don't really want the red region. We want the green region. And what happens next then? Green up there, yeah? So what are the two regions I'm looking for? Minus 2 is a smaller number than x. Or x is going to be a bigger number than 5. Because it keeps going on forever. So x equals 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're all bigger than 0. Minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Everything in that direction is bigger than 0 as well. Because there's only one turn in it. The only part that's beneath the axis is the red part. Okay? So that's our two answers there. Question 15 now. Same deal. What type of graph is question 15? When we change it, can you tell me? Question 15. Bring the 3x over to the other side. What type of graph is this? It's another U-shaped graph. Just draw it here. I don't know where it's meant to be though. Okay? So I solve it. I get x bracket 2x minus 3. I'm just going to put equals 0 for the time being. X equals 0 or 2x minus 3 equals 0. 2x equals 3. X equals, otherwise known as 1.5. Where should my graph go? Is here good? No. Why there? So the x-intercept has to be 0 and the y-intercept has to be 1.5. Okay, fair enough. We want it to be smaller than 0. So it's currently bigger than 0, bigger than 0, bigger than 0. Stop, equals 0. Now we're in the green region, which is what we want. And then we're good for this point here. Then after that, we're back above again, which is no good. So we want the green region, not the red region. So what is the green region? All the numbers between 0 and 3 over 2. So how do you do that? X is a bigger number than 0, but it's a smaller number than 3 over 2, because any value in here is bigger than, any value in here is bigger than 0, but smaller than 1.5. Okay, anybody remember how I did this the other day? There you go. Alright. Alright, now question 18. Okay, once again I can probably just bring it right back to the start here and just use what I had last time. There we go. Okay guys, question 18. What do you think I'm doing this time? We have 4x squared minus 9 less than or equal to 0. How do I solve this? 2x squared minus 3 squared, and what's that then? 2x plus 3, 2x minus 3 less than or equal to 0. After that, put them equal to 0. After that, equals minus 3, x minus 3 over 2. Then 2x equals 3, x equals. Okay, is this graph a good graph at the moment? When is it a good graph here, like last time? No. And here? They're equal, aren't they? It should be the same size both sides, okay? So minus 3 over 2 and 3 over 2. I'm looking to be bigger or smaller than 0, Max? No, pretty sure that's smaller. Okay, so that's smaller than 0, okay, because it says the less than or equal sign. Okay, so what do we get this time around, guys? So when is it smaller? It's good at the moment, isn't it? It's sorry. No, it's bad because there we go. It's bad because it's bigger than 0, and now stop. Your equals is included. It's good now because it's smaller than 0, and then you stop again, and now it's yeah, above the line. It's bad again. You want the green region. So what's the green region? The green part. What are the x values in the green part? Yep, it's the same thing as saying minus 3 over 2 is smaller than the x value. Or you can say x is bigger than minus 3 over 2. You can say it both ways. And what about the other part? 3 over 2. And then the answer after that, merge them into 1. Is that alright? So it's the numbers in between here. Now, what we're moving on today is, I did 12, 15 and 18, okay? So what we're moving on to now is, this one here is relatively basic, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do two different questions, okay? But they're very similar, but they're two different questions, okay? So I'm going to do question 9, but beside question 9, I'm also going to do another question beside it, okay, at the same time. And the other question I'm going to do is minus x squared plus 2x plus 8 less than or equal to 0. Okay? So we're going to have a look at their similarities, what actually happens, what doesn't happen. Now, what can we say about both graphs? One of them is what shaped? One of them's U-shaped, but the one on the right is N-shaped, okay? So we can start off with that. We do what we normally do. We do a reference number. We get x minus 4, x plus 2 equals 0. Now my problem with this one is that it's minus x squared, isn't it? So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to multiply both sides by minus 1. So this question is in fact the same as x squared minus 2x minus 8 greater than or equal to 0. It's still an n-shaped one though, isn't it? Okay, so we'll just finish off the one we know how to do. The one we know how to do is this one here. It basically means x is going to equal 4. I'll be back to that one in 1 second, right? So we're just going to finish off the one we know how to do, where we have the minus 2 is on the left, and the minus 2 is here, and the 4 is here. Do we want it to be smaller than 0, don't we? So that's the red area there, and the green area is in between, so it's going to be minus 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 4. Alright, so look, that one's no bother. What's different is this one over here. Okay, now you had an n-shaped curve, yeah, but you then changed it to a black U-shaped curve, where all of a sudden it has to be bigger than 0 instead of smaller than 0. Okay? Now, we're just going to do what we did last time. We're going to solve it, and we're going to get, what's it going to be? X minus 4. X plus 2 equals 0. We're going to get x equals 4, and then x equals minus 2. Both of them move accordingly. This one moves to here, where it's 4 and minus 2. This one here moves as well, because it was the same question. So that one is going to be minus 2 here, yeah? And 4 here. Now, we can do this two ways, right? We'll work with the one we know how to do. The one we know how to do is that this thing has to be bigger than or equal to. When is it bigger than or equal to 0? When is it bigger than 0? Smaller than minus 2, but bigger than 4. Because it says bigger than 0. Everybody cool with that? Okay, the other one is going to be smaller than 0. So where is that smaller than 0? Let's find out. When is this one smaller than 0? It's smaller than 0 right now, isn't it? And it's smaller than 0 there. And it's bigger than 0 in the middle, isn't it? So, do you actually see that both answers, even though they're opposite in shape, they both have the same green regions, and they both actually have the same red region? So, when you have an N-shaped curve, you can still solve it like a U-shaped curve, just by multiplying by minus 1 and changing it around. You actually still get the same answer. So, as an example, what you can see here is that the answer is x smaller than or equal to minus 2, x bigger than or equal to 4. And on the opposite one, it's the same answer, isn't it? The green regions are still, they match exactly up together. So the green regions are the same for both questions. No, that wasn't going to work. But yeah. So, long story short, on a need to know level, here's what you're going to do. Okay? You're going to go, this is an N-shaped curve. I prefer U-shaped curves. So I'm going to multiply both sides by minus 1. What happens when I multiply both sides by minus 1? Plus 5x minus 12. What happens to the sign? Gets reversed, okay? Reference number? Minus 24, which is 8 and minus 3. So 2x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 12. It's now equal to 0 because we aren't sure about it. And then we get 2x into x plus 4 minus 3 bracket x plus 4 equals 0. 2x minus 3 bracket x plus 4 equals 0. X equals minus 4, or x will equal 3 over 2. Everybody cool with that? Now, I'm gonna work with the U-shaped graph, okay, the one that we'd prefer. Is this a good drawing? It is. Minus 4 is to the left, and 3 over 2 is a shorter one to the right. Now, I want it to be bigger than 0 for my U-shaped graph. So when's it bigger than 0? Oh, sorry, wrong colour, right? Here and there. So smaller than 4, but bigger than 3 over 2. That's perfect, right? Now, if I was just, for argument's sake, if I was to take the other look at it, as in I go, well, look, is that not an N-shaped curve? I thought we were talking about an N-shaped curve. Then what you just do is you just do the same thing again. You just draw your N-shaped curve. I won't use green. You draw your N-shaped curve. Is that a good position for that N-shaped curve? No, because it needs to be minus 4 and 2. And when is this N-shaped curve smaller than 0? And that's the same answer, isn't it? So it doesn't matter if you draw an N shape and do the N shape way, or when you change your formula into a U shape and do the U shape way, it doesn't matter. You'll still the same answer. Okay? So we're good.